Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Stealing from the Greats, a daily segment where I break down and celebrate small but great subscription websites and brands, and we learn what do's and don'ts we can apply to our own websites. So, as always, I look at the three aspects of a good subscription sign-up: the brand drivers, the product drivers, and the subscription drivers. Now, today I'm looking at Moon Oral Beauty. Moon is built on Shopify using Recharge, and we'll take a look at all three aspects and see how they stack up and see what we can learn. So, let's take a look at the brand stuff first. Now, first and foremost, the homepage is where most customers most website visitors will land and see. And as always, especially as we're seeing right now, a lot of companies are choosing to use their homepage to promote a specific product and a specific promotion. Now, I get that this Barbie movie co-promo is cool. However, one downside of this is that fresh website visitors might be lost for what your brand does and who is it for. That is why it's important to have a good, strong positioning statement right at the top. So Moon could be oral beauty for people who want to, be stunning in every situation. So I wish they did something like that instead of this co-promo specifically. But I understand that this is targeting repeat visitors. But for new visitors, keep that in mind. You want a good, strong brand positioning statement. After that, you want some product drivers. And product drivers mean you want to explain your product line and why it's beneficial and what are the cool features and how those features will benefit you as a user. So we've got best sellers here. I actually really like this. This is a great way to dive into your product line and tell the users or tell website visitors, hey, these are our best sellers. So we've got our Barbie specific promos here. We got our also Kendall Jenner teeth whitening pen. Actually, this is kind of the big thing behind the Moon brand, but it's kind of hard to see. So that from at least this first promo. Now they've got these pop-ups here. I'm not a huge fan of these. Actually, these don't really seem to make much of an impact on conversions, and they do clutter up the design and the page a little bit. So, and they don't really have a clear call to action. But that's test at your own discretion. But I do like these. I do wish that the names of the product and the product benefits were a little more clear. So, for example, here I'm seeing that the Moon Bubble Mint Whitening Toothpaste is fluoride free, but how is it better than any other toothpaste? Same thing. I wish there were a little more on the benefit side for these products. I like the labels of new, and sold out might be one of those things. Award winner for 2013 New Beauty Award. That's cool. Again, when you have product lists like this, when you're displaying products side by side, the goal of the side-by-side display is to help users compare and contrast what is good for them and what is a good fit for them and what is not. So labels like that, and so bestseller, new in, highest rated for most effective whitening, that kind of stuff. Helps with product differentiation. Now we scroll back and we've got this toothbrush collection that they're highlighting again, so big, heavy Barbie promotion. And then we got Kendall Jenner's teeth whitening pen. We've got a little bit of social proof, and I do like that that they have a customer call out here, again using social proof to verify their claims, but they don't really have a claim here other than as seen on the Today Show. Now, they don't have it's like, hey, this is the best premium toothbrush you can find anywhere, as said by the Today Show and Caitlyn Jenner, and this just says that it's a whitening pen, for example. Same thing with the toothbrush, and the customer testimonials lose a lot of weight as soon as you kind of anonymize them, because it's kind of hard to believe that they just don't slap as hard as they say when they are anonymized. So keep some kind of maybe first name, last name, or a publication, or if you can have a verified customer badge on there, that's a good one. So electric toothbrush, OBJ water flosser. So obviously we got a collab is part of the brand, but that is not the message we're getting at the very, very, very top. So maybe it's like look like the best, or look like your favorite celebrity, or have the confidence of your favorite celebrities. That kind of thing could be the brand message and the brand positioning piece up top. So a couple of things that we're finally seeing around policy and trust. So other than the social verification, obviously we've got a picture of Kendall Jenner using the product. Big deal. But as far as the policy pieces, so we got free shipping, easy return, subscribe and save 20%, buy now, pay later. Okay, so a lot of these things answer a lot of the questions, purchasing questions that users might have. This is great to have. You can also use frequently asked questions as an accordion. Now, this I'm not a huge fan of. Period. Social links on websites are actually a distraction for somebody to go and follow you instead and never make a purchase. The whole point of the social campaign is that you have social accounts to drive traffic to the website and make a purchase, not the other way around. So that's what I would suggest. Ditch that and highlight the perk of the product itself. So let's say that I'm down for this, either the whitening pen or the toothbrush. Now, the whitening pen does have a subscribe and save widget on the product page, and this is fine. This is all good. I like the review count right under the name. I like the clear product price. I do appreciate that the product price is dynamic, again, based on the subscribe and save or one-time purchase selection. I do love that the one-time purchase has a very, very clear difference, and you have to basically opt into and click on the higher price to get the one-time purchase. So for the subscribe and save pieces, I do wish that they highlighted a little bit, and this could be one of the out-of-the-box app limitations, that they highlighted the reason to go with 60 or 90 days. So for example, how many uses can I get out of this pen, and how often should I be getting it? Should I be getting it every 6 months? If it's 30 days, if I use it every single day, is this something I should be using every single day? So that's one piece. On the product carousel, I do wish that they highlighted a little more of the daily use. So they got the Kendall Jenner tie-in, so they have high resolution pictures of the liquid itself. Some results after 14 days of recommended use. So these are really, really sweet. I really like before and after photos, and they're really, really powerful. So they tell you, okay, this thing works as verified by reputable people. So, okay, cool. Now, if they could say, hey, well, this is after 14 days, maybe the question becomes like, why should I sign up for a refillable pack? I would love to see after 14 days, after 45 days, after this many days, after 60 or 90 days. I bet you that would sell a lot more subscriptions for you and build you a lot more recurring revenue. That's a big piece. I do like these tabs here, although to explain a little more, kind of let people go on their own, choose your own adventure, product questions. However, they are text heavy. They are hard to skim. So I would suggest either popping the text with bolded text of things like award-winning teeth whitening pen, instantly brightens, so vanilla mint flavor, free of SLS. I don't even know what that means, but that sounds like they've paid attention to all those things that are bad for you. So highlight those with bolded text. And I really like the idea of what's inside. Actually, it can be very, very powerful if you use that idea in the product photography itself. So, for example, I am getting a pen. So what I would love to see is, hey, here is the actual welcome package. The welcome package includes the pen, the application, maybe some kind of blah, 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 some additional accessory products and stickers or whatever it is. And that will tell you what's inside visually. So show instead of tell. So that's the thing. Those are kind of the quick takeaways, again, from the whitening pen itself. Let's take a look at the toothbrush, because I do really like their toothbrush setup here. So there's a couple of things. So first of all, finally, we see a toothbrush and refill pre-selected instead of just a toothbrush only. You see that the toothbrush and the refill comes at a lower price. I like that. I wish that the cost was also included right in the button and programmed right in the button, so you could say $59 or brush only $69. So that would be sweet. I do wish what I would add is a little bit of informational text around basically the subscription program itself. So I understand that I'm getting a head brush subscription, but what does all of that include, and what else comes with this? So for example, this is great. So this image is fantastic, just kind of laying out exactly the pieces that you get. I do wish there was some kind of image overlay with arrows pointing at, hey, carrying case, that good for travel, toothbrush, good, toothbrush with battery, good for up to 2 weeks of use, or subscribe and save and get the first refillable or first brush head replacement on us. Things of that nature would be great. Again, using the benefits and what's inside in these tabs, really like those. But generally speaking, I would want to display that as probably one of the first items on, so you get a very clear idea of what's inside and how much it costs. Now, if I go ahead and add it to cart, basically it just tells me that I do not get to pick a frequency here. I just basically tells me that I get a subscription, which is kind of interesting. I do have questions about that and how that gets displayed in checkout. Here it says it's every 6 months, but here I'm seeing 59 every 6 months. So this could actually be a limitation of the recharge setup that that the company set up, and I understand that this is supposed to be like a convertible, swappable subscription. So the first product is the welcome kit, and then it turns into a toothbrush replacement subscription of $15 $12 every 2 months. So now, see, that's quite tricky to get everything across on, but there are good ways. To do that. So overall, though, convertible subscriptions are great. They are really popular, especially for they come with some sort of a starter kit. Helps you simplify the SKU, basically SKU management and inventory right at the very beginning, obviously, and helps you kind of separate the subscription from the main product. So it's a smart move. I would recommend probably displaying that a little better. Maybe even adding in some images into this box and letting people really opt into really understand what is the subsequent order going to look like. So, hey, here's the first order, and here are the second order and everything that comes afterwards. Again, I would stay away from the social proof or from taking people off of the product page, especially with this kind of user-generated content that can take you off of the site. So this is one kind of downside of these distractions. But user-generated content like this generally super useful. So just as long as you make sure that the user stays on the site, then it's all actually very powerful. It can be very powerful for conversions. All right, so that brings me to the end of our Stealing from the Great segment. If you like this content, subscribe. If you have any Shopify subscription or just Shopify questions, leave them in the comments, or subscription app questions. Leave them in the comments. This brings me to the end of that. So stay hungry, stay foolish, stay curious, and remember, you don't have to be big to be great. Cheers.